At this time, the chair recognizes Councilman Jones, who will present a resolution honoring Philadelphia's living legends with Heshimu Jaramogi, Ukee Washington, Rick Williams, and Lady B. And those accompanying them, please join the councilman at the podium. And joining Councilman Jones, we have Councilman Green, Councilman O, Councilwoman Parker, Councilwoman Blackwell, Councilwoman Gim, Councilman Dom, Councilman Toppenberger. Is that it? And Councilman Johnson.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Morning.
Good morning.
That's right.
Carter G. Woodson, in 1926, created Black History Week. Not until 1976 did we expand to a month. And I would only be noting that it's the shortest month in the calendar, but we'll take it. But when he did that, he wanted to memorialize the impact and importance of African Americans in the history of the country and the world. But what we wanted to do with the Living Legends presentation was memorialize our local legends, our local heroes, and not when they passed away, but while they were here to be able to smell the flowers that we give. They all kind of, she said, my senior colleague corrected me, they all too young to be, but they're legends in spite of their age. And they're very, as my kids would say, Philly. Like water ice, soft pretzels, cheese steaks, like playing in the water plugs in the summer, they're very Philadelphia. These individuals were preceded by names like Georgie Woods on the radio, who stopped spinning records to bring up the issues of the day, Lady B. Individuals like Ed Bradley, who spent 26 years at CBS and then wound up on 60 Minutes. To all of our shock and amazement, and we were happy to see him. Mary Mason from WHAT, who was a pioneer and was able to elect mayors, presidents, and governors. These legendary individuals paved the way through sacrifice and hard work for the individuals you see here today. Heshimu Jaramogi, Ukee Washington, Rick Williams, Ducis Rogers, and Lady B, leaders in the area of radio, print, television, and journalism in Philadelphia. I like to call them the Fabulous Five, but we only have four, so they're the Fantastic Four today. When you see these individuals or hear their voices, they become a part of your family. Ukee always says, all right, family. And I feel it. I've many times on my way to council or leaving council actually been caught at the light chair dancing to Lady B's music in the basement party. And I can't dance that well. So, yeah, I actually can. Or to see Heshimu Jaramogi over there with the stone face about what we say, and then the pen and radio mic as to analyze that. And so Tommy St. Hill asked me on the way in, why wasn't he up here? And I'm going to answer you now, Tommy St. Hill, that you're so Philly when you're known by one name. You got three. Tommy St. Hill. But the individuals on this stage, Ukee, Rick, B, all are known and are known by their first names. That's when you know you're so Philly. And we honor them today. Rick still gets his hair cut at Pretty Boy's barbershop in your district. Yeah. Yeah. So he's a regular guy. He's a regular guy. And he has his... we don't do that in these chambers. So, without further ado, this resolution honoring living legends is celebrating the Philadelphia living legends Heshimu Jaramogi, Ukee Washington, Rick Williams, Ducis Rogers, and Lady B, who are leaders in the areas of radio, print, television, journalism in Philadelphia as a part of commemoration of Black History Month.
Whereas Heshimu Jaramogi is an award-winning journalist who has left his mark on the greater Philadelphia media industry since the 1980s. Heshimu has worked for various local news organizations, including WDAS, WCAU, WHYY, and WPEN. In 1998, Heshimu became the president and founder of Jaramogi Communications. He also founded the, quote, the Neighborhood Leader newspaper and...
Whereas in more recent years, Heshimu Jaramogi has worked with aspiring young writers at Temple University, where he teaches journalism courses. Jaramogi's dedication to journalism was memorialized when he became the recipient of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists Lifetime Achievement Award. And
whereas Ulysses S. Washington III, affectionately known as Ukee, is a member of a proud and outstanding organization known in this body as Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, was raised in Philadelphia and returned to the city after graduating from the University of Richmond to pursue a career in broadcast journalism. Washington started off as a broadcaster at KYW-TV in 1986. Currently, Washington hosts Eyewitness News on Philadelphia's CBS 3. And
whereas Washington has also used his creative talents in other areas of the media, appearing in several movies of Philadelphia-raised director M. Night Shyamalan. Washington has received several accolades for his work, including being inducted into the Broadcast Pioneers of Philadelphia's Hall of Fame in 2008 and the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2015. And
whereas 6ABC, Action News, and the only station allowed in the Taubenberger household because of my wife Joanne, host Rick Williams worked in journalism in several major cities across the country before settling in Philadelphia in 1988. Williams is one of the most recognized faces from the 6ABC Thanksgiving Day Parade, which he has co-hosted with Cecily Tynan since 2009. And
whereas Williams has made many significant contributions to the Philadelphia community, including his efforts to inspire and uplift young Philadelphians through his work with Philadelphia Futures, a nonprofit organization that mentors students seeking higher education. Williams' hard work was honored in 2010 when he was inducted into the Broadcast Pioneers Hall of Fame. And
whereas Ducis Rogers moved to Philadelphia in 2012, becoming the Action News sports director for 6ABC. Rogers began his career as an anchor and reporter for WDEF-TV in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Prior to coming to Philadelphia, Rogers also worked as a sportscaster in several major cities, including Chicago, New York, and Miami, where he was named the Miami New Times Best Sportscaster in 2003. Rogers has also worked with ESPN and WCBS-TV, covering major sporting events such as the Super Bowl and the World Series. And
whereas Lady B is one of the earliest female rappers in hip-hop and one of the first to record a studio album. In 1979, Lady B began her radio career by interning at WHAT radio station, where she worked with Mary Mason, another Philadelphia radio icon, and I used to listen on the steps with our box on Sundays when she was on. Lady B was hired full-time after improving ratings at the station by assisting with the selection of new music. In 1984, Lady B moved to Philadelphia's Power 99 FM and started the program The Street Beat. Currently, Lady B broadcasts on the Philadelphia's premier R&B station, Old School 100.3 FM. Lady B received the prestigious Philadelphia Urban Legend Award in 2002 and is also listed in Vibe magazine's History of Hip Hop as maybe the most influential female in hip hop radio history. Now, therefore, be it.
Always got to know your script. Yeah, I'm going to get to it. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that it hereby celebrates Philadelphia's living legends, Heshimu Jaramogi, Ukee Washington, Rick Williams, Ducis Rogers, and Lady B, who are leaders in the area of radio, print, television, journalism in Philadelphia as part of a commemoration of Black History Month.
And the chair recognizes Ukee Washington for remarks.
And let's keep that Ulysses right here. All right? First, giving honor to God, and good morning, family. And I do mean family. I am truly humbled and grateful to be standing in front of you, and in front of you this morning, standing in the largest municipal building in the United States, the headquarters of the local government of the great city of Philadelphia, the city of which I was born and raised while in my later years commuting to and from Dover, Delaware, by way of West Philadelphia. Now, I mention my origins because it was here that the genes of my career choice were formed, where the seed was planted, and so shall they grow. I was inspired and motivated by watching television way back in the day on my family, black and white television, with the vice grip because the knob fell off. Remember that? When we only got channels 3, 6, 10, and 12. And if you were lucky enough and had a UHF converter,
That's right.
you got channel 17. 29 and 48, WKBS. But watching television back in the day and seeing people who looked like me motivated my soul. People like Trudy Haynes, Sonny Hill, the late Jack Jones, the late Malcolm Poindexter, true African-American pioneers who spoke to me as a child without saying a word. But I heard them loud and clear, so loud and clear, on so many levels. I stand in front of you today while maintaining my balance on their shoulders, and so many like them. And one day, with God continuing to be by our side, all of the honorees here that you are observing today, that we can serve as the foundation for so many others, no matter where they are from, no matter what they look like. Dr. King once said many years ago that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? It's our turn to help lead the way, to pass that torch, and keep our historical flame burning brightly. What an inspiring day it is. My family at home thanks you. My family at CBS 3, past and present, thanks you. But most of all, I thank you. I'm Ukee Washington, CBS 3, Eyewitness News.
I'm Rick Williams with Action News. First of all, I would like to accept this on behalf of my colleague, Ducis Rogers, who is in Clearwater, Florida, covering the Phillies. I'm sure he would be here as well. I know we're all jealous. but he is working, and I accept this on his behalf. And very quickly, I just want to introduce you to my support system. We all have support systems, people in our corner, and that begins with my wife, Jocelyn, Dr. Jocelyn Mitchell-Williams. Jocelyn, thank you. Thank you. And she reminds me every day that behind every successful man is a woman who calls and says, bring dinner home on your way home from work. So she does that. I'm also joined by my news director, Tom Davis. Tom, thank you for being here. And my friend and executive producer, Rob Royal. But through it all, my wife and I try to live by that credo, to whom much is given, much is required. And, you know, we know that we are blessed to do what we do, to do what we love. My wife is a very successful OBGYN. She's also dean of a medical school in Camden. And I have been, you know, I've wanted to do what I do since I was a young child, watching, you know, Max Robinson on TV for ABC News. So I'm very lucky. We're very lucky. And again, as Ukee mentioned, we stood on the shoulders of giants, and we have a responsibility to make sure we open doors and lead the way for the younger people. I am so proud to be a member of the Philadelphia media, to be an employee at 6ABC, and to be a member of the National Association of Black Journalists. So I thank you very much, Councilman Jones. Thank you very much for this honor, and I will continue to do, hopefully, what I do best and serve the city of Philadelphia. Thank you. God bless.
Wow. I didn't have a speech prepared, so I guess I'll do what I usually do, speak from the heart. Good morning, everyone. City Council, thank you so much for this honor. I'm truly humbled. Who thought that, you know, you would write a rhyme one day and then 35 years later you would stand here in City Council and be honored for your work? My work is a love and a joy for me. There can be no better job than waking up every day and playing music and giving people valuable information and putting a smile on their face. It is truly the best job ever. But more importantly, these days, it is very important to me to share valuable, when I say valuable information. It is not a job that you should take lightly. It is a job that comes with great responsibility. And it is truly my pleasure to be that vehicle to let folks say what they want to say. And we talk and we laugh and we joke and we party. As Councilman Jones says, I have caught him many times dancing to the basement party. The ladies and gentlemen behind me are like friends, and I take great pride in that because they all come to my show and we talk about our communities and what they need and what we have to do, and I love it. I just love what I do, and I am truly honored to stand here with Ulysses and Rick. It's just amazing. It's an amazing morning. Thank you. God bless you all. And please continue to listen. 100.3 every day, 2 to 7. Okay? All right.
Hi, I'm Heshimu Jaramogi. And first of all, I'd like to give honor to God. It's the reason why I'm here. And clearly the reason why I had an opportunity to be in the media, because I had no interest whatsoever in being on the radio. I was trying to be an engineer, and I couldn't get an opportunity. And so a fellow named E. Stephen Collins, who I grew up with, Ernie, said, you need to go try to get this job as a reporter at WDAS. I'm like, reporter? I said, I don't know. I'm really interested in doing reporting. And so that's when I began reporting. I should also thank Joe Davidson, because he's the one that got me involved with WHYY initially, which put me back in contact with Collins, with something called Project BAIT, Black Awareness in Television and Radio. And so there were many who opened the door for me. And even as I tried to get out of Philadelphia and get back to the Midwest, another door kept opening up. And I'm actually very glad that I've had these opportunities to interview everyone from presidents of the United States to representatives of the Ku Klux Klan. All kinds of folks have come my way, and I've come their way. So I've been blessed in so many different ways. And I thank you today, Council President.
Yes, sir.
Clark, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Councilman Curtis Jones, thank you very much, as well as other members of City Council, and those of you out there watching on TV as well as listening on the radio. I thank all of you for the opportunity to continue to provide information to you via the neighborhood leader as well as sometimes on the radio, because last week Frankie Darcell gave me an opportunity to share some thoughts with folks on Sunday morning as well. So I'll continue to do that whenever I have the opportunity. But thanks again.
Councilor Bid Ease.